Okay, first up we're going to do the arms. So rotate them up like this, turn them both 180, open this flap on the underside, rotate the wheel arch, close back the flap and rotate these back 180. Bring these back down and then you can slide them up. Coming around to the back, untap the backpack, move the arms out of the way, take these pieces here and these rotate up into the torso cavity. It just gives you a bit of clearance. Take this whole section here and it's going to rotate around to the front. Same again on that side. Move these flaps back down out of the way for now. Untap the head from the top of the body. It's quite tight that, so just be careful when you pull it out. Then the head itself is going to rotate around on its platform 180. So that whole platform moves that way. And then take the head and just rotate that back 180 as well. So it should end up like that. Then you can just pop the head down into the torso there. Slots in quite neatly. Coming back to the front, if you take these pieces that you pulled out the chest and you're going to take this and rotate it back on that double hinge so it looks like that. Same again on this side. Then roll this back up and move these pieces so that they're on top of the shoulders. If we come back around to the inside, take these two sections here and bring them back up into the body again, and then you're going to rotate them 180 but coming around this way on the inside. So go ahead and turn that. Same again on this side. So they should end up looking like this. Next up, come back around to the front, and this little tab here is just going to fold up like that. And what that will allow you to do is to just slide the two silver chest pieces together. So they're on a slider just here at the back. Then rotate the waist 180. Bring the arms back down to the side. And you can go ahead and squeeze the arms into the chest cavity. So they're on a sliding mechanism at the top here, so that's your pressure point. And they should just close up neatly like that. Coming back to the roof, this is going to come down and just clip onto the front. So make sure you've just got a bit of you've got your clearance between those two bits in the middle there. And that will just click into place. Then the front of the bonnet is on a double hinge, so make sure you've got it this way. Move this flap out of the way, and then that will just close down, dead easy. Then you can go ahead and close that flap up, and that's the top section done. So moving down to the legs, if you untap the knee pads, bring them down, and you're going to collapse these in just on a couple of sliding screws there. So just close those up. Same again on the other side. This flap on the inner ankle, that's going to rotate up both sides. And then you need to open up the roof. Just be careful because it's on a kind of translucent tab there. You just need to work it free from the side. Then you can close up the feet by taking the heel spur, rolling that round, and then rolling all of that section forward. The feet are on a slider, so extend them out, and then you're going to rotate it back, and it's going to go into this section here. So rotate it over, slide it back, and then close it down so it's all flat. Same again on the other side. And then you can actually go ahead and close that roof section back up. Next up, open these flaps on the back of the legs. Now, if you're like me, this is where it gets a bit tricky, because you're going to fold these over and slot them into place, but there isn't a straight clearance to just do that. So the way I kind of fixed it was get it lined up first, so move it sort of round into position, both sides. So line them up, and there's a tab on the inside. They're going to connect together, the two legs. There we go. So you've got something like this, and you can actually see how tight this is. So to give yourself extra space, or the way I did it was just to keep this this knee angled downwards, but then rotate the legs, or twist the legs on it, and it just creates a bit more stretch space, if you like, in this back section. And there you go. You've got to be careful of these translucent tabs, but it just goes under, and you then need to come back and kind of solve this bit. So close your knees back up by lining the back of the car up, and it just clips into place. Close these flaps. On the underside, bring these down, and then there's a couple of tabs that are just going to go into up here. There we go, job done. Okay, back to bot mode. So start off with the knee pads and unclip those from the bottom of the car. Bring them out and around out of the way. For the back section, it's basically the reverse squeezing, if you like. So untap it from the center, and then you're just going to have to work the back legs back around. It is easier, I find, if you move these slightly back. Not too much, but just a little. It just gives you a bit of clearance to pull all of this out and rotate it around. And you can see actually it's come around on that soft inner hinge on the knee. Next up, if you open up these flaps, and you can go ahead and separate the legs. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this back section here, and that's going to rotate around so that the exhaust is pointing into the knee. So on the hard ratchet, bring it back to about here, hold some pressure on there, rotate the leg back, then tilt it again on that soft hinge, and then you can rotate the rest of it, so exhaust pointing down into the knee cavity. Same again on this side, bring it to about there, rotate it up, move it again, and then do another rotation. Close up these flaps. Next up, bring these flaps back around, and then we're going to unclip the roof, both sides, and that will allow us to bring the feet back out. So remember, it's on a slider, so you can rotate it out, pull the slider forward, bring the foot down, and these are tricky to get from the other way actually, so very carefully bring the foot out, roll the heel spur back. Same again on the other side. Unclip the roof. Roll the foot out. Bring all of the feet section back out, and then you can close up the roof. Next up, we've got these, so extend these back out. Remember, they're on a double slider at the back here. Close this over, and then the knee pad just tabs into place at the top of the leg there. Same again on the other side. Extend this, close it back, close up the knee, and that's the legs done. Back at the top, you can unclip this tab and then just bring the roof section back up. Remember, it's on a double hinge there. Then you can unclip the roof and just bring this out of the way. Take these sections, bring them out. You're just kind of moving them out of the way for now. Next, we're going to bring the arms out of the chest cavity. So you can see they just slide out of there. Then these silver sections are going to slide back on the sliding joint mechanism. Bring those out, and then you can bring that flap down and close that up there. Next up, we're going to go back to these sections here, these little bits. So these are going to rotate back around this way, 180 degrees. So turn them like that, and you should have them looking like this. Then just move them out of the way, because we're going to bring the head up next. So this might be a bit tricky, and you might have to use a tool to get it out, because it is quite snug in there. So there we go. Then we're going to turn the head 180 to face backwards, and then turn the whole thing, the whole platform, back to face this way. Moving back around to the front, these they're on a double hinge, need to roll over and close up like this. Both sides. Extend them out so they look like that. And then you can bring these around. Actually, just move these out of the way. It gives you better clearance on the inside. So bring those flaps up. Then you can just close that round, and it just tucks in there. Then you can bring these back down. That just closes up the side. Then the head, it's got a little tab at the front there that will just click into place. Round at the back, you can tab the back in now. Move that flap back around to this position, and then it should look like that at the back. Rotate the waist 180. Next, you can extend the arms, rotate them up, open up these flaps here, turn the arm 180, just move that up, both sides so the red's facing outwards now. Then that will allow you to rotate the wheel arch back to the correct position, close those flaps up, rotate the arms back 180, and there you go, job done.